And the Hangout is live. Welcome. We have a few people in the waiting area. Hope you guys can see and hear me okay. We've got a new prop in the office. I haven't actually shown this to you guys yet. Let me just tilt the screen up a little bit. We have, it's kind of like a side piece that I put in there to trigger and annoy the feminists, the toxic feminists, and the social justice warriors. Got all the great books laid out, the pipe from the 21 convention, of course, the Make Women Great Again hat, the title sponsor. And I got to figure out some way to get the top shelf in the frame, but these are all Greek statues I picked up when I was in Athens in my 20s. So a little Aphrodite there. And of course, we've got the lesser Greek god. I don't know his name, but he's got a giant dong. He's half animal, half human. And the story behind this dude was he was so ugly, but he played such an amazing flute and apparently had a majestic beard, if you can tell, so well that women would line up and come and fuck him in his cave. And taking on a new sponsor this month as well. I'll give you guys a preview on this. I'm going to do an announcement on the channel publicly soon, but met this guy at the 21 convention, and he does these beard balm brushes. So they look like that, and you kind of brush the beard balm into your beard. It smells really good. So I'll be talking about that product on the channel at some point too, so that's great. So yeah, that's what's going on with me. Hope to see some of you guys join in. What I'll do is I will put the join link in there again. I'm not sure if I got it right. This is the invite link. Copy and paste. So to join in, if you guys want to hop in the Hangout, just make sure you launch it from a Chrome browser or from Hangouts app on your mobile device, and you'll get in no problem. Aside from that, it's just a standard Q&A Hangout sort of session. Trying to do these to get the guys over in across the pond in Europe and Asia a chance to hop into these things and participate in the discussion. So you can always post your questions in the comment section if you have any. It's going to be a small group. We don't usually get hundreds of people on like we do with the Red Man group, so it'll be easy to get to any questions that pop up. Or I see a few guys just joined on. You got headsets and mics on, so if you got questions, just unmute yourself. It's just a small group today, so let me know what's going on and what you guys want to shoot the shit about. It's just a hangout. You guys got your mics working?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, perfect.
Welcome.
Howdy, folks.
What is up?
It's Eurotrash night tonight.
Oh. Oh yeah, we've got Germany in the house.
Hey guys, what's up, Liam?
How are you?
I'm good. I was just, for some reason, I wasn't getting any kind of notifications or anything. I was just going crazy here, like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's supposed to notify you, but YouTube is very selective about who they notify these days for some reason. I just got this guy assigned to me to be my channel assistant from YouTube. So when you get over 100,000 subs, they assign somebody to you. And I don't know.
That's a secret police.
Kind of, yeah. You know, he's supposed to help me out and grow the channel. Although I'm a little frightened when he starts to dig into the content and sees what it is that I talk about. His name is Galen. Doesn't sound well. I'll just leave it at this. I'm not really sure what direction it's going to go going forward, but hopefully having this direct contact with the YouTube rep doesn't screw up things for me.
Good luck with that.
Who's Ivar? Is that a new name for?
I'm hiding my identity normally on because it's Liam.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Well, not here anyway. But if you're going to use Hangout somewhere else, you could get doxxed.
No, I do. That's why I do.
Yeah. The beard is looking legendary, I must say, Liam. It's coming in nicely.
4 months of growth.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the ticket I find is to get yourself a nice Persian or Italian barbershop. My preference is Persian because they're meticulous about their beard trimming skills.
Oh, I'm fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I am really terribly lazy. It's like pubic hair at the minute.
Yeah. If you find the right guy, then he'll set you straight. He'll make you look like a handsome gentleman again.
Are you trying to say I'm ugly, you cheeky bastard?
No, you're a sexy bitch right now. You just have to get a little tidying. Where's G? G? What is that short for, G?
Giovanni.
Giovanni. Okay, yeah, I've seen some of your posts. How are you?
Yeah, doctor from Italy. Yeah, I'm fine.
Italy.
Just moved to the new town where I'll be starting my residency. And tomorrow I'll meet my new professor, and it's a new adventure, so pretty excited about it.
So we have Germany, Italy, Ireland in the house.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And Transylvania, my original.
I want your blood.
And we got a few other guys in the viewing section just watching that aren't participating. So what's going on, man? What do you guys want to shoot the shit about? I'll be on for about an hour.
Honesty. I've really found that being I was sort of, not that I was a liar or anything, but I really find that trying to be honest with people, no matter if it's women or men or even in business, it's probably the best thing you can do for yourself and for them and for respect. And something I've really come to realize in the last few weeks, like last week, I thought I basically was fucked, excuse the pun, because I thought my whole life was going to get turned on its ass due to some financial stuff.
Mhm.
But it was really, really, well, I really realized what I had and what I could lose. It really put perspective onto my life and sort of made me fucking grow up, basically. I sort of seen my life flash in front of my eyes and said, holy fuck.
Was that the radical honesty that created that?
No, it was a crisis, a possible crisis that was coming. Probably financially, and it sort of put my whole life into perspective.
Mhm.
And I thought to myself that I've been really lacking my own self-improvement and sort of been relying on other people's coattails for the last long time. So I just realized that I sort of need to get my act together. I was getting too comfortable, and this thing came across, hit me,
Mhm.
absolutely scared the shit out of me, and just made me reevaluate my whole life.
Are you self-employed or do you work for somebody?
No, we work for somebody. It's a family business.
Okay. And what happened? Like, can you give us some frame on what happened?
Just some debt was transferred from bank to a company, and then the company started to get snotty.
Mm.
So on repayments and stuff, but I believe it's sorted now. But it was looking like my whole fucking life was turned upside down, and looked like I was just gonna have to fucking start from.
Yeah, that's the risk that you run when you get most of your income from one source, or you have to rely on one source to pay the bills. It's very
No,
it's very risky.
It's not even that, Richard. The point is, we have about 3 or 4. We're pretty diversified.
Mhm.
It was just with the financial.
Was it
Bank
the
there.
banking system that was a problem, or was it the customer that was a problem?
No, the banks basically went bankrupt and then started selling off their debt.
Oh, okay. Can you process through maybe more than one bank if that's a weak area?
Oh, it wasn't even a bank. No, I don't really want to go into who has my debt, but
Okay.
it's not fucking very nice. Put it
Okay.
that way.
Okay.
Well, we're a performing loan,
Hmm.
which is we were sold off a lot of shit, as they say,
Mm.
and people bought it. But it's just weird how you think everything's just going to go fucking smooth and everything's just going to go do, and you get it, and you're like, holy fuck. But it's really made me become really honest about what I've done for myself.
Have you read Ryan Halliday's The Obstacle is the Way?
No.
It's a good book. It's not a long read either. It's worth a read, I think, for all men, simply because regardless of what obstacle falls in your path that you think is a complete roadblock, you can often find a solution in the obstacle itself, is the general theme of the book. And what he does is he shares all these historical stories. He was a guy that actually helped Robert Greene write the 48 Laws of Power. In his early years.
Love Robert.
Yes, Yeah, so if you like that book, The 48 Laws of Power, Ryan Halliday helped him write that book. He did a lot of the researching, and the storytelling that he does in The Obstacles Away is structured very similar. So I think it's a good read. I think that any guy that is going to navigate life should understand that, obstacles are just tests, and you can find a way to deal with them, or to maybe make the obstacle in itself the way to solve the problem.
And one thing that really gave me comfort is during the height of the just before the financial crash, I bought gold.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a substantial amount of gold personally.
Are you like a leprechaun? Like you got a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow?
Basically, yeah.
I bought some gold about 4 years ago, and it's done fuck all for me.
No, I bought 0.9999 Canadian maples, and they doubled in value.
You must have bought them at the low end, because
I
bought them, they haven't moved.
I bought them before I actually seen the financial crash coming. Because I was in real estate, and I took a good chunk of money and put it on the. I literally am a fucking leprechaun. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my gold is in my gun safe, and it's part of my when the shit hits the fan plan.
Yeah.
I got cans of beans in there. I got some gold. I got my guns. Anything that might be useful.
Condoms.
You probably won't care that much about condoms if the zombie apocalypse comes. But
depends how it's spread.
yeah. Who knows, right? Exactly. We got Hayek's Ghost in the comments. He was asking if Anthony's going to make women great again in black. I think he's keeping it red simply because it triggers all the Trump haters, and those two things tie in really, really nicely. So I think he's got a pink one coming out for women, actually, believe it or not. What's going on with you, Giovanni? What's happening in Italy, man?
Well, not really big news now for me, because I just I moved here, and it's been a very rough year, I must say, but also probably one of the best of my life, because a lot of things actually changed. I started to make more money, started to be more able in my job, because I started working as a doctor. It's been a year now, and when I started, I felt like I was, completely alone. I didn't know really what to do. It was really, really hard, but I kept going, and I managed to, be successful in it, and I gained a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience and a lot of confidence, I must say, which helped me a lot, and I think it will help me a lot in the future, especially now. And probably the best thing that I really, really learned this year was really the importance of being able to not give a fuck about basically a lot of stuff. It really, really changed my life. I think it's something that many people and many men must, learn and understand, and because it will help you a lot in life.
How did you learn to give fewer fucks? Like what was it that worked for you?
Well, let's say, as I said one day in a Facebook post, I was like 50% red pill aware when I started all this journey. Especially in relationships. I never really had big problems in relationships and all. But what really changed it all was being red pill aware about life, business, importance of self-care, and creating wealth, and understanding that your life is your own journey, so you have to focus on what's important for you and stop caring about what people says and what society says. So I started to understand that it's no big deal if I stop listening to what other people says, because first of all, and this is a quote from David Foster Wallace, which is an American writer, and he said, you will stop worrying about what other people says about you when you realize that during the day, they probably spend like 10 minutes thinking about you.
Yeah.
So you're not that important to them as they are not that important to you. So you start to realize that, why am I even caring about what they say. And life gets better because you make progress and you start to achieve important things and you feel fine. Actually, I've never felt stressed this year, never feel like, preoccupied about anything, and I'm just going on and making progress in everything, I must say, job, relationships, and accumulating wealth and all this stuff.
You had
So
some
it's not
interesting
easy.
posts on the Facebook page. What were you talking about in those posts? Because I know they got a lot of engagement from people.
Yes, I was talking about what posts, because I wrote 2 or 3 posts, maybe the presentation posts. I was talking about, all my journey and how, can't remember really. I mean, it was about being fully red pill aware, which was very, very important. I think that especially in the red pill community, there is too much focus on women, on getting women, on understanding women, which is important, but it's not that vital. It's like a sub-product of what you
A
become.
byproduct. A byproduct.
Yeah,
Is what
byproduct.
yeah.
Byproduct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the other thing that I really, really learn is the importance of,
Oh, you got to
the
mute yourself, Jamie. You're
Yep.
gonna get feedback. Hang on a sec. Let me just hit the mute button for him. There we go. That should work. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So the other important thing for me is like you need to start to see life as a journey, and you need to start to see how important it is to be red pill aware, and it helps you to. I use the metaphor, which is like a boat in an ocean. So when you are in an ocean, you can navigate towards your objective, and all of a sudden there can be a storm, or there can be tidal waves and stuff like that. If you're not red pill aware, you won't see them coming, so you will always be unprepared for them. Being red pill aware.
It's interesting that you mentioned the boat in the ocean, because I uploaded a video the other day on a sponsored request. Somebody was asking about surviving divorce, and I used a similar analogy, except for I was using a fish bobber, but in whitewater rapids, because the stuff you're talking about in the ocean is very different from what happened. Like, water travels differently depending on where it's at. It's different in oceans and lakes versus rivers versus streams versus rapids. And the analogy that I used was, you throw a fish bobber into a whitewater rapids, like class rapids that people are going down in these giant rafts in. You have no control over where you're going, and that's what divorce is. And you basically have to just keep your head above water until you get out the other side and you land in the pool or the pond or the ocean where the water is a little calmer. But it's interesting that you use that analogy when you're talking about the red pill awareness with the ocean.
Yeah, because it's like how waves basically move.
Yeah,
it's like you can see them coming, so you can be prepared. It's going to be hard, but you can be prepared.
Yeah.
To everything that life.
Are you guys planning, by the way, that are on right now in Europe, to go to the 21 convention in Poland?
Yeah.
Whereabouts are you, Jamie?
England. Originally from Scotland, but I've been in England for about 10 years.
Where do you live in England?
Newcastle upon Tyne.
Okay.
Yeah. It's about 2 or 3 hours from London.
I lived in Bedford for about, I don't know, a year total in my 20s. But yeah, man, I know England well. I've driven all over it. It's not a big place, but it's a big place in a different way.
Yeah. Lots of
but
nice
it'd be cool to see.
Stuff.
Yeah, exactly. The roads are lovely, especially for some hard driving, because they're nice and smooth and they got lots of twisties and bends. Whereas here, the way they build the roads, it's all straight lines. It's one block to another block and then a 90-degree turn that way. They're starting to put roundabouts in some of the intersections now, which makes it interesting because not a lot of people know how to use them here. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Cool.
Yeah,
so,
man,
sorry.
I was just going to say, it reminds me of a few times I've driven over in America, and we had a roundabout, and obviously for us it's like the wrong side of the road, and I was like, shit, man, what would I do with this fucking roundabout? The rental car was awesome, man. We had this Mustang, the first time we'd ever driven one. It was pretty cool, man. Like a total muscle car.
Yeah, Europeans love Mustangs. I don't know what it is. You guys, I can buy a Mustang here for nothing. They're cheap. I mean, you can buy a 5-liter Mustang for 20 grand. A nice one. But over in the UK or in Europe, they're pretty expensive. I know. Who's got one on his Facebook? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Germany's got one there, which is interesting because I'm driving German cars and you like the American cars.
Well, I mean, honestly, the sound of a V8, how can you compare that to a 4-cylinder economy car, whatever? Yeah. That's when I had a girl in, and after 5 minutes, she literally turned to me and she was like, I'm wet. I kid you not. So.
Yeah, cars will do that to girls. Especially if you're driving it hard. Women like to be in the passenger seat while you're driving hard. There's no doubt about it. They're going to pretend like they're scared, but there's a lot of moisture when you're doing it.
And motorcycles.
Motorcycles too. Oh yeah, motorcycles are amazing for that. I used to ride bikes for a long time, but I gave up bikes after about 30 because I came to too many close calls. But yeah, bikes are definitely up there as well, and they're a lot cheaper than exotic cars actually.
But I must say,
plus it forces them to hold on to you. Like immediately there's physical contact, whereas in a car it's they just sit there, or they'll grab onto like the door handle if you're going fast. Whereas on a bike, when you let it rip, then she's grabbing onto you hard, right?
What if she grabs the wrong knob?
Oh yeah, whatever, man. Grab onto whatever. It's
I always use the surprise acceleration tactic. It always works.
It's it's funny to take their hand sometimes and then just slide it down in your pants as you're riding and see what they'll do.
Yeah, you'll end up with a me too. You dirty bastard.
Yeah. Well, if she's getting on the back of a bike, she's probably not the Me Too kind of girl, I would imagine.
That's true, man. That's true.
Yeah. So what else is going on with you guys? What else you want to chat about? Has anybody got any questions or anything pressing they want to table for everybody?
Yeah, Richard, hi. It's Mark Gordon in Ireland here. How you doing?
Hey, Mark.
Good evening. Hi guys. I want to put forward an idea or a question to the group just to sort of kick it around. I'm thinking of starting another business. I've been talking to Claudio and to Liam and the other guys about and the likes of Benson and Jamie too around starting a business. I've been in software sales for the last, IT sales for the last 25, 26 years. Was working in a company for the last 6 months there who brought me in to try and launch a product, but unfortunately that didn't work and I got let go last week. So I'm trying to find a new gig, and I got offered an agency for a suite of tools to manage the Amazon cloud. You know the way you have the likes of Hotels.com and Trivago and these types of companies who sell spare capacity in a hotel for a cheaper price, right? Well, you can now do the same for the Amazon cloud and also for the Azure cloud on Microsoft, where a company called SpotInst, who are an American company, run spare computers, so they buy spare capacity for pennies on the dollar from Amazon and then sell it to customers. And Amazon have seen this as a way of creating density within a customer's contract. When people go to cloud computing, they end up with a whole pile of virtual machines that they're not using or that are sitting switched off or they're forgotten about, and they're not getting value for the money, but it keeps billing. And as And after a while, financial controllers will cancel the contract and just throw it all in the bin and say, fuck this cloud computing nonsense, this is a nonsense, we'll just go back to having kit on site again. So even Amazon Web Services' own salespeople are now being sort of tasked or told to work with the likes of Densify and SpotInst to improve the density for their customer accounts and to get more traction billing, even though it's cheaper and they're carving up a bit of their revenue. So this guy who was my old AMD in a company, so 2 or 3 lifetimes ago, has offered me an opportunity to resell his product stack in Ireland. Now, I know a lot of the people who are running, large systems in the cloud, SAP, Oracle, SQL, etc., instances for, for databases and, various transaction type systems. I sort of come from that sort of IT telecoms sort of networking background. So I know a lot of the people, and, I can reach the folk who I don't know on LinkedIn. But I just wanted to get people's opinions as to, is this, does this sound like a pile of shite? Does this sound like it's a load of nonsense and someone smoking fucking drugs? Or, Jamie, hold that thought for a second, I mean. But, I want to hear people's brutal opinions as to, I'm in a desperate state at the minute where, I have money up until the end of Christmas. January comes, I'm fucking flat broke again. I need to try either get, a day job or try and start my own gig again. I went bust the last time. I know where I went wrong. There's mistakes I'll not never make again. I just don't want to make any new mistakes. So I just want to hear from the group what, people think as to if you're starting a venture, what are the key things I should be looking for, and margins and all that sort of type of stuff and working capital. Would appreciate people's opinions.
I think Jamie wanted to go. I don't have a lot of experience in that area.
Yeah, man. All I was going to say, Mark, was my experience has been with, like, I don't know, say Microsoft Azure, is that generally when you're not using the products or the services, you ain't getting billed. So on that front, I can only talk about Azure, Microsoft, and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know how these services are going to get sold on, is what I'm basically saying. And then to the other points about the kicking out of business, test the market, I suppose. See if there's a demand for product or service.
You're always going to know if somebody's willing to give you money for it. If they put their money where their mouth is and there's a demand there, then you're going to know for sure. Like, that's really the only way to do it. A lot of people spend too much time, I think, trying to perfect something before they go to market. But all you really need is a minimal viable product, like something that functions to the purpose, and then you can fix it up later.
Mark, can you hear me?
Yeah, go for it, Claudio.
All right, so I might not be able to give you like exact business advice when it comes to paperwork and shit, but
that's okay.
Check this out. So I'm a cloud architect, right?
Yeah.
What I do is OpenStack, AWS, Azure, and GCP, Google Cloud Platform. What you could do if you could find customers would be to offer to sell, because that's the thing, you're in sales, right? You could sell them parts of a cloud, but what I would suggest would be to sell them solutions, application onboarding, shit like that, because many people buy cloud or resources, computing resources, but like you said, in the end up, it just collects dust, it does nothing. So to avoid that, sell them onboarding, application onboarding. Basically, it means taking a traditional application or a legacy application, as we used to call them, but we don't nowadays because we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and onboard them to the cloud. Now, this is a lot easier said than done, but if you could find people that know how to onboard, if you can find people that know how to deploy cloud, if you can find people that know how to manage and work with the cloud, which is exactly what I do, for instance.
Yeah.
Micro
segmenting is part of the solution. So
yeah,
part of the solution is going and analyzing a customer's application on premise and then telling the customer what parts they need to optimize to bring it to the cloud and what parts won't move.
Also be careful because the same application is going to run very differently in the cloud than it does on bare metal. Very different.
Okay.
You have to take into consideration the way it works. Some applications are just not designed and they're better off, on the bare metal for the next 10 years before they expire and no one needs to use them anymore. But,
this is stateless and stateful.
There you go.
Yeah.
So the thing is that if you have an application that's stateful and you need to convert it to a stateless model, it does take some tuning, and this is what I'm talking about, onboarding.
Okay.
I have a question for you guys because I was following a friend of mine, Dmitry Buterin, who's Vitalik Buterin's father. He's in Czechoslovakia now. And I was watching his posts on Facebook about the Ethereum conference. I'm curious as to what you guys think of cryptocurrency over the next 3 to 6 months.
Price will go up during Christmas, not as much as it did last year, but the price will go up. So you have a chance of buying something now and selling it maybe right after Christmas. The price will go up, but it's going to be like a bubble. People will be a bit afraid to buy, but people will buy.
Yeah. I think now it's the best time probably to buy some Bitcoins or stuff like that, because now the price is pretty stable, but it will definitely change.
Yeah, it's very low right now, I think, anyway.
I think that this is the base price. I don't think it will go lower.
But here's
some people say because it's like the cost of mining is around $6,000, so I don't know.
Here's a question: do you want to mine or trade?
Trade.
Because if you trade, that's different. That's a whole different game. If you want to mine,
there's no money in mining right now. Like, there's no money in mining Ethereum. There's no money in mining anything until the prices increase. But it's got to take more mass adoption, man. I think the markets are going to run out of places to park money and see a return. And we've seen a lot of people pull money out, especially out of the stock market in the last 2 weeks. So I'm wondering if it's going to move into cryptocurrency.
Seems to be moving into oil. The oil's got a good spike up recently. As soon as the Fed and Trump started arguing, the oil price spiked up.
Yeah, they've been butting heads with the Saudis lately too.
Yeah, true enough.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, good. Who's that on the end there? Bence, you got yourself muted. Oh, can't hear you still. You're still muted. No. It says you're unmuted, but we can't hear you for some reason. I'm not sure why it's not picking up your mic. Anyway, I'll let you try to sort that out. So what else is going on, fellas? Any questions?
So Richard, would be interested in hearing what the plans are.
Hold on a second, one at a time.
I'll go first. Richard, tell us about the plans for the Redman or for the 21 conference in Warsaw next year.
Well, if it's going to be anything like the one I just came from in Orlando, it's going to be well worth your time. I would definitely grab the tickets at the early bird price because they do go up over time. And again, it's like I've been to conferences where I've spent $6,000 to go to them, and I think the value you get out over the 4 days, not just in the conference exchanging ideas, but outside of it over the dinners and the networking and just the social aspect of connecting with everybody, is of tremendous value. So it speaks to things tied into understanding women, your place as a man, your masculinity, the creation of wealth, self-care. It's a very good mix of topics that get thrown into the equation. And, you've got the opportunity to speak to just about everybody, including the speakers that are there for the 4 days. So I don't know. I mean,
any speakers been? Any speakers?
I believe, you know, without letting the cat out of the bag, without confirming or denying, you're probably going to see me, Rolo. I don't know who else from, like, you know, the Rat Pack from like the Orlando crowd will be there. Probably guys like either Goldman or Christian McQueen. There's a guy out there, Christian Tate or Andrew Tate. I don't know if that's his name, Christian or Andrew. He's an interesting guy. He's also an entrepreneur. That's
kickboxer.
Yeah, that guy. You know, he's quite a ladies' man as well. I don't have the full list, but I'm working with Anthony a little bit behind the scenes. I'm kind of walking him through like some of the people that I think that would be good speakers going forward. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the future, I don't know if it'll happen in Poland, but if you see guys like Donald Trump Jr., Dan Bilzerian, you know, we're just throwing some bigger names out there just to see who we can kind of bring eyeballs into, because we want to try to impact as many guys' lives as possible. And I think the best way to do that is to find people that already have an audience that's similar to what we're talking about, and then try to have them understand, you know, the notion of the Red Pill Conference that we're building. So, yeah, I'm not sure what's up with your mic, but maybe if you come back in, you'll be able to get it. Hey, Curtis is on too. Curtis, you can join in if you got the link there. I'll post it again in a second. Yeah, does that make sense? Like, is that what you're looking for?
I would like to see a lot of the people, the Americans, you know, and some Europeans too.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to see at least half of the speakers from Orlando in Poland.
Yeah, it'd be good to meet some of the guys in real life. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's very good. It's very good, actually. You know, I had some very good conversations. Like Ray Kahn is in Toronto, and he's a guy in the community page, and he was also down at the conference, and he was sitting opposite me from a dinner one night, and you know, we had a great conversation. So I mean, yeah, the private conversations you get to have face to face are considerably better than chatting back and forth on a Facebook page or even doing this. And it's real close to you guys. Like, I don't know what a flight costs to go from where you're at to Poland. Like, what does it cost to go to Warsaw?
Probably £200.
Oh, yeah. Then you'd be silly not to go.
I think even less here. I think it would be like $80.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
It may even be worth your while. I'm surprised it didn't happen in Orlando because it was more downtown, but I'm sure that if you guys collaborate, you might be able to find a larger house that's close to the event, and maybe like an Airbnb that sleeps like 6 or 8 guys. And then that way you can get like the brothers from like the Entrepreneurs in Cars community in one home sort of thing. I mean, there's no women at the conference, but there'll be women out at the evening events, obviously, if you're going out.
I'm not sharing a room with Liam. I'm just saying that for a start.
Me neither.
Yeah. You might wake up with his thumb up your ass.
He told me like
well, no thumb, just a fist.
Yeah, Curtis is in the chat, and Curtis was at the Orlando convention. You know, we had quite the interesting conversations and after party events. I remember there was one night where it was like, you know, we're sitting at the bar and we were getting ready to leave, and I said, "Hey man, you know, we're gonna go back to the hotel room. You know, we got a vape in there," and he joined us, and it was like me, Jack Donovan, Goldman, Ryan Stone, Rolo, Sean Smith. It was just a fucking great crowd, and we were just sitting around shooting the shit and just lining up things for the next day and talking about what was all going on, just unwinding. So it's you know, it's a cool place to be.
Richard, here's the question: What was the journalist?
Oh, she her name is Nellie. Hang on a sec. Let me dig it up. I didn't want to mention it in the public video because I didn't want to give her any juice. Nellie Bowles, yeah, Bows. Here, I'll look it up and I'll put it in the chat.
What was she at?
Oh, she was a sneaky little cunt, this one, I'll tell you. She basically pretended that she was invited there that night. There's her Twitter. Oh, here, I'll put it in the basic chat too. She basically pretended like she was invited there that night, and she wasn't. And the only reason why she found us was because we were posting pictures on Twitter and Instagram at the cigar bar, and she must have been following us. So she just showed up. I mean, she put, one and one together and found the cigar bar in Orlando and just walked there because it was like a 2-minute walk from the hotel. But yeah, she was a real piece of work, man. She didn't write anything, and Jack Murphy handled her. Jack Murphy's the Democrat to deplorable guy. I'm doing a live broadcast with him, not this Friday, but on the 9th at 4 o'clock. So I'm going to be talking to him live publicly on the channel about how to handle getting doxxed, because he basically lost his job. He lost his coaching position on his son's Little League baseball team, everything, because he showed up in a picture by somebody that somebody else didn't like. So they just associated him with them, even though he was a very neutral sort of participant. So he's a guy that basically switched from Democrat to Republican after that experience. Hang on. What did Curtis put here? I just had to approve it. Hanging around high achievers for 5 days will force your ass to get in gear. If you aren't doing much with your life, then attend 21 Con, then go home and go back to your old self. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but it's an interesting conference and dynamic. So for all you guys that are in Europe watching this right now, it's dude, guys, it's the place to be, man. And it's going to be in Poland. There's gorgeous women there too. So I'm sure the evenings will be interesting. I've never been to Poland. Has anybody ever been there?
A long time ago, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
I dated a Polish girl in my 20s, and all I really remember about her was I met her at a Subaru club. She drove a Subaru as well, and she had very spongy skin for some reason. Like, you would touch her skin. She was in her 20s, and it was very soft and spongy. But yeah, she was a good lay, so it was fun.
You guys, Jamie and Liam, and Mark, you guys remember Emilia, right? The one, the bitch I saw a couple of days ago. She was Polish.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
You were meeting her for lunch today, weren't you, Claudia?
Not today. I guess it was it was on Tuesday. Yeah. She was tall as fuck, but yeah, pretty good looking.
I think Hayek's ghost is Alex. I'm reading his. Oh, somebody's getting in shit. Who are you talking to? Who's that, Mark?
No.
Yeah. My young fella just worked out something's going on.
Yeah, that's right. Something is going on. What's happening?
Your son's going to get red pilled.
You could have to get some red pill drops and put in his apple juice.
Oh, believe me, I've been telling him, giving it to him in very small jobs, but he's starting to get the idea.
Good.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit. It takes little small sound bites. Like, even with my daughter, I try to prepare her for a life with a guy that'll be red pilled. So I just drop little sound bites from time to time.
Yeah, I've got a 13-year-old, and he called me the other day and he says, "Dad, I'm going to ask you out this girl." I said, "All right." I says, "What's she look like?" "She's blonde. She has big melons and a nice round ass." Like, shit. He just turned 13. He's like, "What?" I said, "All right." I said, "All right, son." I said, "Oh, give me your lines. What are you going to say?" He says, "I'm just going to ask her out. We've been DMing on Instagram." I was like, "Okay." And I said, "So are you going to meet up? Are you going to?" He's like, yeah, I'm going to ask her at school. "Will you be my girlfriend?" I said, "Nah, you need to stop right there."
Yeah.
I said, "Stop right there." I said, "Do not just ask her out based on how she looks." I said, "Find out what she brings to the table first. Take her for a milkshake. Go for a coffee. Go for whatever. Don't just ask her to be your girlfriend based on her looks."
Wow. Yeah, that's that's the female primary social conditioning that boys receive, and even at that age, that's his default responses. Go out with her, buy her a soda and a slice of pizza, and then ask her to be your girlfriend.
Yeah, man. Yeah. This is it. I said, "Nah, son, you need to sort this out. You need to ask her. Get to know her, and then qualify her. find out what she brings to the table. And to
Are you
cut a
gonna-
long story short, I'll tell you what happened, man. He got LJBF'd.
Oh, yeah. See, there you go.
She'd been signalling and tapping him on the shoulder and all that sort of shit. And so I was expecting the phone call from him. Like, yeah, man, Dad, I've got this blonde. And he said, I never got the phone call. So I called him. He says, nah, she told me she just wanted to be friends. And I was like, son, it happens. Chalk it up to experience.
You gotta introduce him to the concept of spinning plates and doing a few of them simultaneously.
He's 13, man.
Well, you know, he's getting started. You might as well get him started.
The sooner the better, man.
At least when he gets LJBF next time and it's somebody that he loves to bits, you know, his heart won't get crushed because he's got somebody else in the rotation.
Yeah.
Well, this is it, man. This is it. He started working out in his room and stuff. His mum's giving me shit for it. Like, yeah, he's wanting to watch what he's eating. He's watching Rocky movies. She said
his mum's giving you shit because he's lifting weights.
Yeah, well, he's not so much lifting weights, crunches, press ups, reverse dips, burpees, all that sort of shit. Watching Rocky films.
Yeah.
She says it's fucking you. It's fucking you. And I was like, oh, right, okay. I mean, me and his mum are not together, but so you know how that goes. You always listen to shit.
Yeah, it's always your fault.
Of course, man. You just gotta let it glide over you.
Yeah, water off a duck's back.
There you go.
There you go. Benson's back. You get audio working? How's your mic?
I sure hope so.
There you go.
Working now?
Yeah.
Finally, I had to go on my phone because my computer is crap. I don't know why.
Whereabouts are you located?
I'm from Hungary.
Hungary. Welcome, Hungary. How are you?
Real good.
Are you going to be joining us in Poland at the 21 convention there in the summertime?
Yeah, it's like 100 miles of driving, I think. Not sure.
Cool. Yeah, it's scheduled to be in July, I believe. They've got to scout the locations next month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See you later, Curtis. So, anything going on with you? Any
Not
questions?
much right now.
Yeah.
Not much. I just tuned in to listen, really.
Okay.
There's a lot of great info to catch from like your conversations, so just decided to listen this time.
All right.
Yeah.
No worries.
Ben, it's Mark Gordon here. But thanks for your help on the on LinkedIn last night for your ideas.
Oh, you're welcome. I enjoyed helping you.
Yeah, it's greatly appreciated.
I'm really glad that you guys are connecting privately behind the scenes to try to help each other out for shit like that. I mean, that was one of the things that I envisioned when I created the community, is that it would continue to grow into perpetuity. Like there would be connections made and friendships, you know, that come out of it. And, you know, like friendships and personal connections, you know, kind of like what happened in Orlando. Like I connected with a few guys down there and, you know, we've become tight. So it's good. Definitely good.
I don't know if you actually know Richard, but we're doing this kind of European Red Pill group.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing it for, I don't know, a couple of months now.
How's it going?
Well, pretty interesting. I can tell you that much. I mean, we talk when we have time. Like sometimes it's mostly me, me, BM, and Dan maybe. Lately it's been me, him, and Mark.
What do you guys do in Hangouts, or are you doing it on a Facebook page, or how do you do it?
Hangouts, and we just talk about whatever's on our mind. I mean,
that's good.
Yeah,
I don't want to go over
we have
the stuff we talk about because it's X-rated. But
yeah, we have a Microsoft Messenger stream sort of running in the background during the day, shooting the shit as well.
Oh, okay. So kind of like a WhatsApp chat group then.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, that's good. This one's a little bit more public because it's being recorded, so it'll be available to the other community members later to watch if they want to, you know, see any of that. So if anybody's watching this after the fact and you're in Europe, you know who to connect with behind the scenes if you want to join in on that. But yeah, man, how's everybody else doing with stuff going into winter? Like, you have any projects coming up or anything going on for you? I mean, it's starting to, it's pouring a lot here. Like it rains a lot in November. My birthday's up this week and it's always fucking raining on my birthday. It's been like that since I was a kid, but you know, the snow's going to come. This ski season starts soon. So I'm looking forward to that. I got the snow tires on the S5. It'll be interesting.
I'm up in 2 weeks and I just rented myself a Porsche Cayman 718 GTS.
Oh, did you? Where are you going?
I'm just around. I'm just gonna rent it for a day and just drive like a maniac.
Yeah, careful with that because it's the roads are slippery this time of year.
Oh, that's exactly the point.
I just don't want to find out that there's going to be a picture on the community page of you with the car upside down in the rhubarb. Rented a car and it rained. Yeah.
It happens.
Cool, man.
So how are you liking the S5 so far?
It's good, although I had the snows put on at the shop the other day, and I was asking them about a tuning kit for it, which gives you, I still have it on my desk here, it gives you 70 horsepower and 73 pound-feet of torque, TunerWorks module. It's $1,500, and you can disconnect it. You can disconnect it from the car if you want to bring it in for warranty work. So it's not huge. I mean, it's like 18% more power, but I don't know that I'll even notice it, to be honest with you. I think the S5 is fine as it is. It's got like 355 horsepower, something like that. So it's a fun car.
I think it's one of the best redesigns of the year.
I really like the interior. Yeah. Have you guys seen the interior of it?
I haven't.
I've
seen the front. The front
is gorgeous. It's got the digital dashboard that they put in the Lamborghini Huracan. Awesome. And the R8, so it's got the same dash. They just customize it to the S5 with the S5 icons and logo and everything. So it's really modern. And the other thing that works really well is the Android Auto. So whenever I'm listening to an audiobook, it plays really well. I can bookmark, the sessions very easily. If I want to come back to a note that's in there. Hang on a sec. I got my chick asking me if I want a steak for dinner. Yeah, you don't ask questions like that. You just bring steak. Silly questions. It's like saying, do you want a blowjob when I walk in the front door? Just don't ask questions. It's just get her done, right?
We're not steak and blowjob day.
Yeah, we're going to call it steak and blowjob day today. Why not? Yeah. Absolutely. Cool. Any other questions? I gotta do a call at 4:30, so I got another 10 minutes if anybody wants to hang for longer or has questions.
Is the community really growing?
Yeah, it's I think there's 330 members actually. I thought about kind of slowing down the growth a little bit because I don't want to have too many new people come in every single month. What do you guys think of the growth and the speed that it's coming along?
I was just looking at that and I was like, yeah, I multiplied it by $10. Like the number of people, like how much you're banking with that, it's like $3K a month, like even more, I think.
Yeah.
But then again, you have to filter people kind of, so you don't want too much new people in there.
Well,
it can bring down the quality. You have to let
exactly
them know paying.
Exactly.
But
yeah. I think
at the same time.
And
sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and I suppose if you filter it, it creates a bit of scarcity and adds more value as well in a roundabout way.
I think what I'm going to do, because the one concern that I have is if somebody like Nellie Bowles makes a fake account and then tries to join the community, that could be a problem. So I've been paying attention to when people try to get in when they signed up for Facebook. So if they're trying to access the page with a Facebook account that they set up in 2008, I know for sure it's a real account. If it's something they set up like 2 years ago or a year ago, it could be a sock puppet account. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in a holding queue and probably just do like either verify that it's a real dude or do like a video conference call for like 15 seconds just to make sure that they're actually who they are. Because I don't want to let anybody in that's you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea, man. Because I was just going to say, I don't know about you guys on the call, but sometimes when you see like some of the members in the Facebook community, right, and they don't have like a picture, you think, okay, you've got an avatar or an icon, and you kind of there's that bit of trust.
I message people now, and I actually tell them, I say, make sure you upload a profile picture before I let you in. And I've had some people that didn't come in because they either refused to or it wasn't something that they want to do. We still have some older members that don't have a profile picture, which I'm not too worried about because this is really something new in the last couple of months that we've dealt with at the 21 Con with this reporter. But I'm trying to be more attentive to it, but at the same time, like for $10 a month, how much work do I have to do to vet somebody before they come in? If I'm doing a lot of vetting work, or if I got to do a Skype interview or something before I let them in, then I got to increase the price of admission, to cover the cost of the work, or maybe have DJ do it or something like that, and I pay him to do it. But I think overall the growth pattern's good. I'm not going to mention it for the next few weeks in videos because I don't want to have, the spikes of joins. I know we had a big spike of joins after the conference. It was mostly guys at the conference that joined, which is cool because y'all know them and they're a very good fit because they've gone to the conference. So so far so good on my end. Anyway.
I only mentioned it because I think it's really good. I think it's growing well, and there's more guys coming in all the time and telling their stories. And I'm more happy with the community today than I was a month ago or 2 months ago.
Yeah,
far more interaction.
Yeah,
far more help for each other, and I'm really happy. I'm far happier now this month than I have been since I joined, to be honest.
Good. And I was going to ask. I was actually hoping Brian was going to join us today because he's in Denmark, I think, and he recently rejoined the group. So I wanted to ask him, what he sees, if anything's different. But yeah, okay. Steak's coming a bit later. That's fine. Have you guys ever had a Wagyu beef steak? Do you guys know what that is?
No.
Yeah, it's really super.
It's a very specialized beef animal. Comes from Japan.
Yeah, I had one a couple of weeks ago from the butcher shop, and I think she's going to pick up another one. It's like $88 a pound here. It's fucking expensive as hell. So like a puck that's about that big, like a 6-ounce puck, is about $12 or $15, I think. But really good beef, and they wrap it with pork fat. But I believe they grass feed them in Australia, and there's some certain treatment they do to the meat. But it's got such phenomenal flavor and taste to it.
But it's the original Kobe beef.
Yeah, similar to that, I believe. Yeah.
But they can't use the Kobe designation because it's I don't even think it's and in Japan I don't even think it's grass fed. It's highly marbled.
Yeah,
highly marbled, and that gives it that beautiful taste. But apparently they rub sake in Japan, and the Kobe beef they rub sake under the animals, so they massage the animals with sake, and the rationale is the sake goes under the fat and makes it taste even better.
That sounds good to me. I got a on a final note, because I got to go in a couple of minutes. I got this entrepreneurs forum that I'm in, and there's a guy that's a vegan in it, and every time meat comes up, we got to hear his 30-second elevator pitch about how environmentally unfriendly beef is and how it's unhealthy and blah blah blah. And it's like I just give him the 25 seconds of soapbox space, and I got to shut him down. Quick update on what I was doing with the business community that I mentioned about a week ago. There's a lot of interest from the guys that were speakers at the 21 Con, and there's some interest from you guys as well, and some of you have privately messaged me, so I know some of you might be on or watching this later. I'm putting together 2, possibly 3 different tiers based on where you're at in your business and your revenue generation for the year, to try to make sure that there's a lot of value that comes out of it with the different groups. And there's going to be some guys that really just need like a workshop, like how to launch a YouTube channel or how to build an email list. So it's going to be about another week or so before I have something for you guys there that's more specific. I had like about a dozen messages on it, so I just wanted to mention that too. All right, so I'm going to wrap up. I'll do another one of these on the first Wednesday of the month, which falls next Wednesday at about 9:30 in the evening. So if you're around, I'll have a link on the page for that as well. But yeah, I got to get moseying on. It's good to see everybody today and catch up and chat. So the recording will be, I'll just link it to the page after. I'll see you guys in the next one, all right?
Later.
Good to see you.